President Emmanuel Macron accepted her resignation. Descartes offered to resign actually the day of that robbery, the day that it happened, after thieves stole millions worth of jewels in less than 8 minutes in that audacious heist. And her request to resign was initially refused by the cultural minister.
Good Day Chicago at 8 starts now.
Breaking now at 8 o'clock. Get ready. Ready or not, we're going to see some self-driving taxis on the streets of Chicago because Waymo is coming to the Windy City.
A woman now charged with murder after police say she hit and killed an Uber Eats driver with his own car. We're live ahead of her court appearance.
Plus, a new effort to lower your utility bills. We will break down the president's State of the Union announcement and the local woman who may have prompted it.
And taking a live look outside, enjoy the sunshine. We have some changes to look forward to later this week as well.
All right, let's say good morning to Caitlin on that note. I'm excited for what later in the, it's sunny today.
Upper 50s.
Friday.
I know. It's the end of the week, too. It's Friday. So.
How into the upper 50s are we talking about?
58.
Mike was right.
Mike was right.
Mike was right.
Get a little bet going, Caitlin.
Oh, goodness gracious. What was the bet?
He said, I bet Caitlin will go 58.
Yep.
No way.
Right on
right,
cue.
yeah. And he said he's usually
knows
the one
you
that goes
very well.
a little higher with the temperature.
Yeah.
It's like you guys worked together for a while.
I didn't even look.
He was lower in the 50s.
Was he 56? I don't remember what he said.
Okay. Yeah. All right, well.
But
today,
he knew you were 58. That's all.
Okay, all right. Props to Mike. Today, it is going to be very beautiful, but chilly. So let's start off with our satellite radar, where we have hardly any clouds out there this morning. We still have some blue sky peeking through over the city amongst the clouds. Temperatures, as mentioned, they are going to be chilly. This afternoon, we're only going to be in the 30s as our high. Right now, we're sitting at 27 degrees at O'Hare and 29 at Midway, 30 at the lakefront, freezing in Gary, 28 in Morris, 2 Kankakee. Here's your day planner. Temperatures right around 33 degrees by noon. By 3 p.m., 35. So here's your 3-day forecast. Temperatures are going to be warming tomorrow around 42. We expect 58. I expect 58 on Friday. Sunny skies will be here too. So we do have the climbing temperatures over the next couple of days, which is fantastic. But this weekend, we're not holding on to the heat. In fact, the 30s are back with the chance for a little bit of snow on your Saturday afternoon. I'll break down your full forecast ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Caitlin. Appreciate it. A woman has now been charged in a deadly hit and run of an Uber Eats driver.
It happened earlier this week on the city's west side. Our Saquon joins us live. Say good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. Chicago police tell us a Maywood woman is now facing charges of murder and vehicular hijacking after she allegedly hit and killed an Uber Eats driver near Loretto Hospital. Police tell us this woman here, 33-year-old Montoya Perry, was arrested after 10 hours after she stole an Uber Eats driver's car and hit him before taking off. That Uber Eats driver was Daniel Figueroa, a 28-year-old man from Downers Grove. He was found unresponsive just after 2 a.m. on Monday near Flournoy Street in the South Austin neighborhood. He was taken to Mount Sinai Hospital where he was pronounced dead. This morning, a GoFundMe page for Daniel is up and running. It was started by his girlfriend, Sandra. You can see her in this picture, and she has received over $6,000 in donations so far out of her goal of $11,000. She says in part, on February 23rd, 2026, my life changed forever when I lost my significant other, Daniel. He was the main provider for our home and the person I shared my life with. His passing has left not only an emotional void, but also a sudden financial burden that I never expected to face. She adds, every day brings new challenges as I try to find a way forward for myself and our child. The weight of these responsibilities is overwhelming, and I am doing my best to stay strong for our family. Sanders says those donations will go toward funeral and memorial costs, as well as monthly living expenses and outstanding bills. Meanwhile, Perry is scheduled to appear in court today for her first court appearance here at Layton Criminal Courthouse this morning. Guys, back to you.
Okay, thank you for that update. New body cam video from Downers Grove police shows officers questioning and arresting a 19-year-old accused of killing a pregnant woman. The footage you're looking at right now was taken just a couple hours after the January 26th attack. Prosecutors claim that the young man there, Natus Uravuka, stabbed 30-year-old Eliza Morales dozens of times before setting her and her home on fire.
I want to let you know, though, that there was a fire at that building. Are you aware of that?
No.
No, we're not worried.
Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest, okay?
Ravugas was allegedly upset over the condition of a truck that he had purchased from Morales' husband via Facebook Marketplace. He is due back in court March 3rd.
2 daycare employees in Des Plaines facing charges for alleged child abuse. They're expected in court today. Police claim Jessica Murillo and Isabella Thompson physically abused 7 children at a Mother's Touch daycare back in November. The children were reportedly 4 and 5 years old at the time. Investigators say Murillo hit one child in the face with a notebook and dragged another child across the floor by foot. They say another child was hit multiple times with an open hand. Murillo and Thompson have each been charged with battery.
It was a late night in the nation's capital as President Trump delivered the longest State of the Union address in the country's history.
Brian Jackson joins us with some of the key moments. Good morning, Brian.
The president said this was going to be a long speech, and he definitely delivered, also showing a deep divide in Washington and across the country.
Our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
President Trump covered a wide range of topics, from the looming conflict with Iran to his push for increased voter ID measures. He also praised his administration's border policies while criticizing Democrats' opposition to them.
Duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens.
And speaking for almost an hour and 48 minutes last night, the president broke a record previously set by President Bill Clinton at a State of the Union 26 years ago. Also, dozens of Democrats boycotted last night's speech with some counter-programming. One event was called State of the Swamp, another, the People's State of the Union, which was held on the National Mall. Gabriella?
Thank you, Brian. The official Democratic response was delivered by Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger, and she focused in part on the economy and says the American people aren't hearing the truth from the president.
Because since this president took office last year, his reckless trade policies have forced American families to pay more than $1,700 each in tariff costs. Small businesses have suffered, farmers have suffered, some losing entire markets. Everyday Americans are paying the price.
We've referenced this a few times. Texas Democrat Al Green was escorted out of the chamber minutes after the speech started. He was holding a sign that read, "Black people aren't apes." It's in reference to a video the president posted on Truth Social. Representative Green was kicked out of the president's joint address to Congress last year as well.
And President Trump announced a new effort to lower utility bills during that address. The so-called Ratepayer Protection Pledge would require major tech companies to build their own power plants for data centers. It's an issue we've covered extensively in Northwest Indiana, where people tell us they can't afford their rising energy bills from NIPSCO. We spoke with a woman in Hamlet, Indiana, who wrote the president herself about this issue.
The message was to please get a hold of Governor Braun and to have him listen to what we are trying to say and what we are desperately looking for help. I told President Trump that, you know, how high our bills have gotten and that we've had a 90% increase in the past 10 years and people just can't afford it anymore. I explained how people are struggling to get groceries or pay their NIPSCO bill, pay their rent, pay their NIPSCO bill. And that is something that we shouldn't have to do. This isn't the Depression era. We shouldn't be living like this.
Some NIPSCO customers have told us their recent bills were around $500.
Okay, sticking to some news over in Indiana, a bill to lure the Bears over state lines is another step closer to the end zone. House lawmakers passed a bill that would fund the construction of a new stadium for the team in Hammond. The amended measure now goes back to the Senate for approval. If it passes there, it goes to Governor Mike Braun's desk for approval. Indiana's legislative session ends on Friday.
Some breaking news to get to now, Gabriella. Ready or not? Waymo is officially coming to the Windy City. The company hasn't set a specific launch date, but announced minutes ago that it is coordinating with local leaders to get self-driving taxis on the streets of Chicago. Waymo says it is starting the process of mapping and testing. There is a proposal in Springfield to allow Waymo in Illinois, but it has yet to get approval.
This makes me so uneasy.
Me too.
Oh boy.
Me
Yeah.
too.
So
I've never
uneasy.
seen one. The only thing I've seen in that realm so far are those little robots, those little delivery
And those
robots.
are my friends. I see them a lot in the West Loop. I don't want to knock them, but remember that video we showed on Chicago Now, guys, where the Waymo got stuck in a parade route and it wouldn't move for like literally 10 hours or something like that. So that's what I think of. I'm like, Chicago, busy city streets, self-driving vehicle.
There's
I don't
a
know.
lot of
We'll
people
see.
on I'll be sitting there when people are crossing and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to make sure my foot is pushed on the brake because people are right in front of your car with these automated electric vehicles. I could imagine it's a little spooky, especially if you're doing the crosswalk. You say, oh, there's a Waymo right there. I'm going to jog past.
On the other side, a lot of people are into it. So I guess
Or the
we'll see
trains.
what happens.
Didn't one get stuck on a train? Or maybe I'm thinking of a food delivery.
Who knows? We might be starting rumors over here.
Either way,
Don't
it's
wanna do
coming.
that.
It's coming. All right, let's talk about the weather. This morning, it is beautiful. We got blue sky, just a few clouds out there. Temperatures are in the 20s and 30s right now. And we're going to be peaking in the 30s this afternoon. So unfortunately, that 27 at O'Hare is not going to be climbing much higher. 25 degrees in Aurora right now, as well as in Woodstock. 27 in Waukegan, freezing from Gary to 30 in Merrillville. It is beautiful, okay? At least we have that going for us. But again, temperatures are back to where we should be in the 30s for today. Also, it's not completely calm. Yesterday, we had those very strong wind gusts, 35 to 40 miles per hour. Today, we're still seeing those 25 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts, 26 currently at O'Hare, 9 at the lakefront, so it's relatively calm downtown. But the feel like temperature, it still makes a huge difference. It feels like 13 in Aurora, 12 in DeKalb, 15 at O'Hare, and 21 at the lakefront. So it is going to be a chilly start. You need that jacket, and you're going to want to hold on to it even this afternoon with your sunglasses, at least. Here's our futurecast taking you through the day. 4:15, temperatures are ranging in the mid to upper 30s, around 36 degrees at the lakefront. We have a huge warm-up for the end of the week, and then this weekend, winter is back. I'll show you that on your full 7-day forecast coming up.
Thank you, Caitlin. Illinois Republican candidates for governor go head-to-head in a debate that aired right here on Fox Chicago. Hear what they had to say about keeping the Bears here in Chicago.
Yeah, we're going to have more weather coverage next as well. But first, here's a quick look at your 7-day forecast.
What are you girls doing?
We're doing all the heating, plumbing, and electric around here.
All right, I know you girls know stuff, but let's leave it to our trusted local experts. Let's call Four Seasons.
It's about time you figured it out.
Whether it's heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, air duct cleaning, or generators, you can always trust Four Seasons.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
time is now 8:15. Here are some of the top stories we're following today.
A woman is charged after allegedly carjacking an Uber Eats driver and killing him with his own car. It happened early Monday morning near Loretto Hospital. 33-year-old Montoya Perry is now charged with felony murder and vehicular hijacking. She is expected in court later this morning.
Tommy Schaefer, the former boyfriend of Heather Mack, has been released from prison in Bali. You might remember this story. The Tribune says he has a court hearing in Chicago tomorrow. Schaefer was sentenced to 18 years in prison for murdering Mack's mother, Sheila Von Wise Mack, in Bali in 2014. Heather Mack was sentenced to 10 years but was released in 2021 for good behavior. After being deported to the U.S., she was charged with conspiracy to murder and sentenced to 26 years in prison in 2024.
The family of Nancy Guthrie is upping the reward for her safe return to $1 million. It has now been 24 days since authorities believe Nancy was kidnapped from her home in Arizona. In a new video, her daughter Savannah acknowledged that the search may not end with a rescue. All right, 8:16. Let's send it over to Caitlin for another update on our Wednesday forecast. Caitlin?
Beautiful but chilly. Beautiful but chilly. We have, one or the other usually at this time of the year. 27 degrees currently at O'Hare, 30 at the lakefront, 25 in Aurora, 25 at Woodstock. Northwest Indiana temperatures for you are hovering around 30. So it is going to be a cool start. And this afternoon highs are only going to be in the mid to upper 30s. Yesterday we did flirt with 40 degrees, but this is what we're looking at for our afternoon today. A little less windy, so at least that is a nice thing this afternoon. 35 degrees, though, from O'Hare to Aurora, 37 expected from Morris to Kankakee. Tonight, temperatures are dropping down to the upper teens and low 20s for most spots, staying elevated in the mid to upper 20s near the lake. So it is going to be a quiet night. And then tomorrow, temperatures back to the low 40s. So not terrible. And temperatures are actually going to continue to increase as we end the week. Here's your 7-day forecast. Temperatures hovering in the mid to upper 50s throughout Chicagoland. Some of us could be tagging 60 on Friday with beautiful sunshine. So plan to go outdoors Friday. Friday is going to be wonderful. This weekend, this is what I mean. You got to enjoy Friday because the 30s are back this weekend. Right around 40 expected as our high on Saturday with a chance for a little bit of afternoon snow. And then Sunday, 33 as our high. Next week, we're starting off with the mid 30s on Monday, Tuesday, right around 40 with a chance for precipitation returning. So today it is going to be a quiet one. Looking out your window, it does look beautiful. We have blue sky with just some fair weather clouds and temperatures, again, only climbing into the mid 30s this afternoon. Back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Caitlin. Appreciate it. Well, 3 Republican candidates for governor of Illinois talked about their stances on President Trump and how to tackle the state's long-standing fiscal challenges in a debate right here on Fox Chicago last night. Entrepreneur and researcher Ted Dabrowski, DuPage County Sheriff James Mendrick, and real estate developer Rick Heidner all participated in this debate.
Now, you might see a name that's missing there. Darren Bailey, a former lawmaker and 2022 GOP nominee for governor, was invited to join, but he did not participate. Right now, he is a leading candidate in polling. But here's what the 3 candidates had to say about the prospect of the Bears Stadium in Indiana.
I think we start with the news that's been dominating the airwaves the last few days. The Bears, today, the Indiana House passes legislation to lure them across state lines. I'll start with you, Ted Dabrowski. Do you support Illinois legislation that would give the Bears the ability to negotiate their property tax rates with the municipality?
I don't. I think right now we have the highest property taxes in the country. People are just getting destroyed, whether southern Illinois, central Illinois, or even on the west side where they were burning their property tax bills. We should do all the public infrastructure that's fair and necessary that the public benefits from to support a stadium, but we shouldn't give the Bears anything, and we certainly should not give them breaks. But I love the Bears. I want them here, but taxpayers have done their share in Illinois for decades. We can't hit them again. And by the way, this whole discussion is because Pritzker has made a mess of Illinois, right? You've had Caterpillar leave, you had Boeing headquarters leave, you've had Citadel and Ken Griffin leave. It's a mess, and that's why the Bears are looking to leave.
Sheriff Mendrick, would you support this legislation, giving the Bears this property tax deal to keep them from leaving?
So, yes, I have a diverse opinion than my opponent. I believe we should be keeping the Bears, and I think if we can get a stadium, especially a dome stadium, we'll get Super Bowls, we can do UFCs, concerts, pay-per-views, and you know what? Just last year, in 2025, we spent $1 billion on our illegal immigration immigration issue. So the ask was $850 million from the Bears for infrastructure. So if we simply clean up our sanctuary state policies and we enforce the law, the federal law, like we're supposed to, and allow ICE to have access to our jails like federal law mandates, we would save that $1 billion a year, and we could support the Bears and have the football stadium in Illinois.
Mr. Heidner, you know, it's reported this weekend that Indiana will be offering up to $1 billion in public subsidies, and they're going to have to raise some taxes to afford that. If the Bears say, well, that's a better financial offer, would you encourage Illinois to match those kinds of subsidies?
Well, first of all, I've been talking about this for months. You know, the Bears have every right to own their own stadium. They have 326 acres in Arlington Heights that they bought 3 years ago. I say that if I was governor, that stadium would be half built right now. What we're doing is we have a city inside of a city with 326 acres. It's so much more than a huge dome. And we get the Super Bowl, hundreds of millions of dollars coming of economic growth to our region. We would get hotels and fuel centers. I mean, it's a huge project. It's much more condominiums and restaurants and all kinds of tax dollars, all kinds of jobs would be created.
So the bill on the table, then, you would say go ahead and push that property tax bill to keep.
Yeah, the property. Right now, we're getting zero property taxes at the old racetrack. You know, they knocked down the racetrack, which, by the way, was another debacle because of the real estate taxes. It was empty. They could have put that to zero or put it to a very minimal amount, so that if we don't get the Bears, at least it could be the racetrack again. But that was just another total debacle. So for me, it's very simple. They're going to produce hundreds of millions of dollars worth of tax dollars. We have to give some of it back to them so that they can afford to build everything.
All right, make sure you join us tonight at 6 o'clock for our debate series finale, a two-part debate featuring 6 Democrats running for the 9th District congressional seat, including Evanston Mayor Daniel Biss, Laura Fine, Kat Abu-Ghazala, Mike Simmons, Bushra Amiwala, and Philip Andrew.
All right, make sure to stick with us at 10 and 11 for Chicago Now. St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner, and Chicago is ready to celebrate the newly crowned Southside Irish St. Patrick's Day Parade Queen. She joins us to explain how she's honoring her community and her family. Plus, a director and performer at the Second City gives us a sneak peek at what's in store for their 4th annual Black Excellence Review. And lastly, Northside Restaurant Week kicks off tomorrow. We break down the special menus you'll find at more than 60 local businesses. All that and more coming up at 10 and 11 on Chicago Now. We'll be right back.
content of this ad.
This is bad. More scammers are turning to AI to fake emails, fake texts, and phony phone calls.
So some of these tactics aren't new, but the technology is making fraud harder to spot. So the FBI typically leads cybercrime investigations, but the United States Postal Inspection Service, they also play a critical role too. Oftentimes, what starts as a scam over text, email, or social media, as we said, may also lead to fraudsters requesting money through the mail. Next week is National Consumer Protection Week, and USPIS is urging people to watch for red flags. If you are targeted, here's what you should do.
Do not feel ashamed. Report it. Go to uspis.gov/report. Report the incident. Save any kind of communication you have with the scammer. Save any kind of bank documents. Contact your bank to try and stop those payments if it hasn't already gone through. The sooner you're able to get a hold of the postal inspectors, the sooner we're able to help as far as investigations and potentially even getting some of that money back.
USPIS says 1 in 5 Americans have lost money to an online scam, costing $12 billion last year alone.
Chicago is facing millions in fines after a judge ruled the city overcharged people for years for both city stickers and parking tickets. This ruling could result in $70 million worth of refunds for residents. Kyle Garchar is one of 2 people who filed a lawsuit over this. He says he noticed something was wrong when he racked up $1,600 in fines because of just 4 city sticker violations. Adding on the late fees, he says he racked up some serious debt.
Basically, until I got set up in, I think it was like a payment plan, I wasn't able to continue driving, and then I think there was additional fees and whatnot, like to enter the payment plan, and then if you default it, there's additional fees. So it's one of those things where it just stacks up and it just perpetuates a cycle of indebtedness to the city.
The judge said the city violated a state law prohibiting municipal penalties over $250. The ruling impacts more than 1 million tickets issued between 2012 and 2022, and it also wipes out nearly $94 million in unpaid fines and fees that have not been collected. Here's something cool. An old hotel on the south side is getting a new lease on life. This is the Hotel Florence. It sits at the corner of 111th and Forestville Avenue in Pullman. It's right across from the main facility there. It's part of the larger Pullman National Historic Park. It was built in 1881 and named after George Pullman's daughter. The state took the building over in 1991, and construction to make it a hotel again is expected to start in March of 2027.
I am so excited for that. And this little girl, she stole our hearts this morning. A 7-year-old is being honored by the city of Linwood for saving her father's life. Last month, Mia Dates was at her home with her father, Xavier, when he lost his footing on the stairs, hit his head, and lost consciousness. But that's when she ran to the phone and called 911.
911, emergency.
No. My dad fell down the stairs. His leg hurt. His leg and his arm hurt.
Mia stayed on the line with the dispatcher until paramedics arrived. The village board honored her bravery during last night's meeting. Awesome.
A Chicago area interstate was just ranked the worst traffic bottleneck in the country. Gabby, you know exactly where it is. Okay. This video might offer you a clue right here. We're talking with the American Transportation Research Institute about the greater impact this is having on our economy. No. Caitlin?
That looks just like a puzzle there, looking at all the roads. It is beautiful this morning. We've got blue sky, but the temperatures are in the 20s and highs today only in the 30s. So a chilly but quiet day of weather today, but we're increasing those temperatures as we end the week. A full check of your forecast is coming up. Stay with us.
GetWindowNation.com.
Time now 8:33. President Trump set a new record for longest State of the Union address. We break down the highlights.
And get ready for some self-driving taxis on the street of Chicago. Waymo is coming to the Windy City. We'll tell you the company's plans.
And a woman is charged after allegedly carjacking an Uber Eats driver and killing him with his own car. She is expected in court later this morning. New body cam video, meantime, from Downers Grove Police shows officers questioning and arresting a 19-year-old accused of killing a pregnant woman. The footage here is from just hours after the January 26th attack. Prosecutors say that young man right there just shrugged in the video. Netis Ravukas stabbed 30-year-old Eliza Morales dozens of times before setting her and her home on fire.
I want to let you know, though, that there was a fire at that building. Are you aware of that?
No.
No, you're not worried.
Put your hands behind your back.
You want to still back?
Ravukas was allegedly upset over the condition of a truck that he had purchased from Morales' husband via Facebook Marketplace. He is due back in court March 3rd.
2 daycare employees in Des Plaines facing charges for alleged child abuse, and they're expected in court today. Police claim Jessica Murillo and Isabella Thompson physically abused 7 children at a Mother's Touch daycare back in November. The children were reportedly 4 and 5 years old at the time. Investigators say Murillo hit one child in the face with a notebook and dragged another child across the floor by his foot. They say another child was hit multiple times with an open hand. Murillo and Thompson have each been charged with battery.
It was a late night in the nation's capital as President Trump delivered the longest State of the Union address in the country's history.
Brian Jackson joins us with some of the key moments. Brian.
The president said this was going to be a long speech, and that it was, also showing a deep divide in Washington and across the country.
Is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
The president covered a wide range of topics, from the looming conflict with Iran to his push for increased voter ID measures. He also praised his administration's border policies while criticizing Democrats' opposition to them.
The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens.
And speaking for almost an hour and 48 minutes last night, the president broke a record previously set by President Bill Clinton at a State of the Union 26 years ago. Dozens of Democrats boycotted last night's speech with counter-programming. One event was called the State of the Swamp, another the People's State of the Union, which was held on the National Mall. Gabby?
Brian, the official Democratic response was delivered by Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger. She focused in part on the economy and says the American people aren't hearing the truth from the president.
Because since this president took office last year, his reckless trade policies have forced American families to pay more than $1,700 each in tariff costs. Small businesses have suffered, farmers have suffered, some losing entire markets. Everyday Americans are paying the price.
Breaking this morning, Waymo has officially announced it is coming to the Windy City. As we take a look at some video we just took this morning, you can see some of these vehicles are already here. The company hasn't set a specific launch date, but announced that it is coordinating with local leaders to get these self-driving taxis on the streets of Chicago. Waymo says it is starting the process of mapping and testing, and there is a proposal in Springfield to allow Waymo in Illinois, but it has yet to get approval.
See, I have a soft spot for robots. I'm not going to lie.
Really?
This, I don't know. I don't know so much. I do like the design on the side. Maybe that helps me a
That
little.
helps.
We
I mean,
will see.
they look kind of
I have a lot of
sleek.
questions.
They're cute. I get it, Gabby.
Yeah, right?
there's going to be an adjustment period. I don't know if I'm ready to like wrap my head around this stuff, Kate.
Imagine their insurance policy. I know we were talking about that earlier.
Goodness. Something I can't afford.
Right. Talking about the weather today, it is going to be a cold start. If you're out walking around this morning, temperatures are in the 20s. It's 29 degrees at the lakefront, 27 at O'Hare, and 25 in Aurora, 24 in DeKalb. Temperatures hovering in the low 30s as we get southern areas like Chicago Heights, Kankakee, Northwest Indiana. But highs today will be in the mid to upper 30s, so it is going to be a chilly one. Similar to yesterday, just a couple degrees cooler, but we are going to have more sunshine in the forecast. Tonight, temperatures dropping down to the upper teens and 20s, and then tomorrow it is going to be slightly better with highs in the low 40s. Let's take a look at our futurecast, though, because if you remember, we were talking about that potential for snow tonight into early tomorrow. Well, our model is showing 745 and a touch of blue. You could see a few snowflakes, but most of us are going to be staying dry throughout today, tonight, and into tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be another okay day. I'll say that. Temperatures are going to be just slightly above normal, but we are going to have even better weather as we end the week. That's when highs are going to be in the mid to upper 50s. So you're probably thinking, what do you mean? Thursday, I thought the end of the week was supposed to be warm. Friday is going to be the best day of our 7-day forecast. Take a look. 42 degrees tomorrow, so a couple degrees warmer than we were yesterday for tomorrow. Friday, 58 as our high. Sunny skies, dry conditions. And then this weekend, there's a chance for some snow Saturday afternoon with a high of about 39 degrees, down to around freezing on Sunday. And then early next week, we're starting off with the 30s again, 34 on Monday. Back to you.
Thank you, Caitlin. All right, for years, fans of an iconic Wicker Park music venue have been begging for it to reopen.
The Double Door. Yes, at 9, one of its owners joins us in studio to talk about their plans moving forward. Stay with us.
Approve this message.
Time now 8:42. Here's a look at some of the top stories we're following today. A woman is charged after she allegedly carjacked an Uber Eats driver and killed him with his own car. It happened early Monday morning near Loretto Hospital. 33-year-old Montoya Perry is charged with felony murder and vehicular hijacking. She is expected in court later this morning. The family of Nancy Guthrie is upping the reward for her safe return to $1 million. It has now been 24 days since authorities believe Nancy was kidnapped from her home in Arizona. Savannah Guthrie says that they are hopeful, but acknowledge that the search may not end with a rescue. Gabby?
Anthony, we all know traffic is bad in Chicago, but new data shows that we actually have the worst bottleneck in the country. So can you guess which area this is kind of referring to? Well, I'll tell you, it's where I-290 merges with I-294 and I-88. It's been also known as the Hillside Strangler in the past. Rebecca Brewster is president of the American Transportation Research Institute. Thank you so much for joining us. You're here to explain how this congestion kind of affects U.S. and honestly the economy. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on today.
Let's talk about how does your institute kind of calculate the top bottleneck locations around the country?
So ATRI works with a data set of truck GPS data. So this is data that is trucks sitting in this congestion, and we have hundreds of thousands of freight trucks represented in our data set. We take a full calendar year of data. We're monitoring traffic congestion at 325 locations around the U.S. We look at how slowly trucks are operating and how many trucks are impacted at each location. So speed and volume go into a calculation to come up with the top 100 worst choke points in the country.
Okay, so you have this list and you're able to, share it with everyone, but then how is it used?
So probably the most important use for ATRI's annual analysis, besides confirming what many drivers already know, is state departments of transportation use the findings of ATRI's list to really understand where to target infrastructure investment to make those choke points less congested, to add capacity so cars and trucks can get through easier there.
Let's talk about the impact of these bottleneck locations. You kind of mentioned it in your first answer, but what impact these have on the trucking industry and really on the economy?
So everything we have in our lives comes on a truck, whether it's the clothes we wear, the food we eat, the fuel we put in our cars, it all travels by trucks. And we calculated that this traffic congestion cost the trucking industry $109 billion annually. Well, those costs are going to have to be passed on to consumers, so it drives up the price of everything that you have in your lives.
All right, Rebecca, this is not actually the first time Chicago has been on top of the list. Actually, previously, the Jane Byrne Interchange was the #1 truck bottleneck in the country, but they went through a massive redesign, as we all know. We sat through some of that construction and rebuild, and it is now out of the top 25 bottlenecks nationally. Do you think that, knowing this this data, actually seeing it, will kind of urge Illinois to maybe change things, IDOT to change things here in Illinois when it comes to, as we sometimes refer to it, the Hillside Strangler?
Well, we have long held up the Jane Byrne Interchange as the reason why this list is so important, because when it was the #1 location for 3 years in a row, the governor of Illinois at that time issued a press release to say the state of Illinois is going to fix what used to be called the Circle Interchange, now the Jane Byrne. And through targeted infrastructure investment, we've seen truck speeds, and by virtue of that also car speeds, greatly improve. And you're right, now it's not even in the top 25.
All right, Rebecca Brewster, president of the American Transportation Research Institute. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
8:46. Caitlin, I am so excited for Friday for more reasons than one. Of course, a couple days off, but also weather coming up.
Sunshine in the upper 50s. Friday will be wonderful. Today, it's going to be okay. We've got beautiful skies, you can see from these camera views behind me, but temperatures are going to be quite chilly. Right now, we're sitting at 29 degrees at the lakefront. Some of us are in the 30s. I'm talking about south of the city. Chicago Heights at 31, 30 in Merrillville, as well as in Valpo. But the 20s from 25 in Aurora to Woodstock, and 24 in DeKalb, 27 in Waukegan, 30 at Michigan City. So the temperatures this morning are going to be winter-like, and this afternoon, highs are only going to be in the mid to upper 30s. I'm going 35 as our high for Chicago. West-northwest breeze, 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting up to 25 at times. So at least the wind isn't quite as strong as it has been yesterday. Tonight, dropping down to 21 with that west-northwest breeze around 5 to 10. Tomorrow, 42. So tomorrow, temperatures are going to be inching up above normal. It is going to be a beautiful day, mostly sunny skies. But let's talk about these temperatures, because our temperature outlook from the 3rd of March through the 7th shows that we do expect above normal temperatures, so leaning above normal with this lighter shade of orange over Chicagoland. But let's take a look as we head into the later part, March 11th, March 5th through the 11th, so the later part of the first half, I should say, of next month. And we are covered in dark red, indicating that we expect even warmer temperatures. So we are going to lean warmer. Taking a look at our next 10 days, you can see this by the end of it. So I'm talking about by the end of next week. So what we're looking at over the next few days is that slow climb. But then this weekend, we're back down to the 30s. And that's where we're going to start off next week, too. But models are indicating that we could be seeing temperatures pushing to the 50s, if not the 60s, as we hit the following weekend. So warmer temperatures are on the horizon. We just got to get there. And in the meantime, today, it is going to be a cold one. So keep that winter jacket handy along with your shades, your sunnies. 8:48, checking in now with Jake to see what he's getting into.
Caitlin, Cody, listen, we all know that bookstores are starting to make a comeback around Chicago. But when we come back, we're going to take you inside Chicago's first free bookstore. Yes, a free bookstore. We'll tell you all about it when Good Day Chicago returns.
All right, it's 8:52. Going to be a sunny one out there, so that's good news. And it's going to be really warm as we approach Friday, high 50s. All right, it started as a way to keep books out of the landfill. However, Books for Cause has expanded into so much more and is transforming lives through reading.
Well, Jake is live in Lincolnwood to show us Chicago's first free bookstore. Morning, Jake.
Good morning, guys. You're right. You know, you've probably noticed that actual bookstores, real bookstores, are starting to make a comeback these days as people actually want to go out and sort of see their physical media again these days. But what if I told you out here in Avondale that they've got a bookstore that's totally free? You come in, you find a book you want, you say thank you, and then you go. That's it. That's what Books for Cause is all about. And we're going to talk with my man Joseph Lifchitz, who's the owner. Joseph, good to see you, man.
Nice to see you, too.
I got to ask, just explain to me how this works, because I saw this pop up on social media, and I kind of thought, like, what do you mean it's a free bookstore?
It's exactly as you said. It's a free bookstore. People come in, walk in, and take books, and on their way.
Now, when people come in and they see the signs outside and they see the explanations, you guys have explanations, and the first question is everything really free? Yes, it is.
It's shocking.
Do you still have a lot of people going, okay, but how much money?
What's the catch?
Yeah, what's the catch? Exactly.
Right, exactly.
Okay, that's a good question. What is the catch?
There's no catch. Knowledge should be free. It shouldn't be based on your income level, and we make it accessible for everyone.
I love that. And I was reading that more than 25,000 books have been distributed to the community because of what you guys are doing. And you look around the shop, and there are books in every section. You got thriller, horror, mystery, sci-fi. You got young adult. You've got a display for Black History Month. I mean, you've got a little bit of everything. And not just books. What I love, you've got vinyl. You've got a collection of DVDs and VHS, cassettes, CDs, books on tape. You've got a section for kids' books. I mean, there's honestly something for everybody out here.
Exactly. We are here for the community and make books for every level, from kids through adults.
I think a question a lot of people would have is, okay, this is great. This is great for the community. How is it sustainable? How do you guys keep this going?
Probably the first question we get. So everybody has a pile of books gathering dust at their home, and we thought there has to be a better way to get books into the readers' hands. So people bring in their donations to us. We sell a percentage, and that pays for all of our operations, keeps the lights on.
Now, that's actually a great point. If someone is at home and they're sitting on top of a pile of books that they've read, or they're sitting on, I mean, let's be honest, a lot of people have a collection of DVDs they haven't watched in a while, or VHS or vinyl or what have you. You can bring them out here, and it really does help the community, because that book that you haven't read in 20 years could be in the hands of someone who's maybe never read it before.
Exactly. And that's the whole idea of Books for Cause, to recirculate books, get them into new readers' hands, new opportunities to be read and enjoyed.
And we do want to also emphasize a little bit of restraint on people's part, right? You come in here, and let's be appreciative of what you guys are doing. But let's not pick up 75 books and walk out with them. Let's restrain ourselves a little bit, would you say?
Yeah, we do have limits, especially certain sections which are a little bit more difficult to stock, like the art books or comics. But it's for people's individuals' reading and pleasure.
It really is an incredible endeavor. I love that you guys are doing this. Really quick, you guys are in the Avondale neighborhood?
Avondale neighborhood.
Where can people find you? Where can they get more information? More importantly, how can they come out and see what you guys got going on?
Our website, booksforcause.com, Instagram, Books for Cause. Come and visit us in the Avondale neighborhood.
Love that. Hey, man, this is absolutely fantastic. Books for Cause, guys. They've got some incredible books. I'm going through trying to restrain myself. I'm not going, yeah, I'll take that. Yes, I'll take that. I'll take that. But it's really an incredible cause what they have going on out here. We're going to be back in the 9 o'clock hour to tell you more about Books for Cause and how you can help out. Really, by helping them out, you're helping out the community, which is always a great thing as we toss it back to you guys in the studio.
I love it. So cool. You look so studious there.
He does. He does.
Go sit down, finish your book, relax, put your feet up, man. All right, our 9 o'clock hour of Good Day Chicago starts next. Stay with us.